Are you ready, viewers and subscribers?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Well, hey, howdy, hey, Paisanos, this is Super RJ, and welcome to my very special 5th anniversary review. I cannot believe it's been 5 years since I started a YouTube channel reviewing animation. Well, sometimes I review live action stuff, but still, it's been so long. Even though I recently have 160 subscribers, not 500 or 1,000, but I do appreciate all of you who watch my videos and give me support for making this channel possible. So to make it up, why not review one of my all-time favorite movies? And that is SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie. First off, I love SpongeBob SquarePants. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. Created by the late Steven Hillenburg, SpongeBob has become Nickelodeon's second most popular animated show along with Rugrats, and is still airing on TV with new episodes and new seasons for 21 years. As a kid, I became a huge fan of the show, and I remember every single episode from the classic era, the post-movie era, and the second post-movie era. Despite the fact how seasons 6 through 8 made the show a complete backwards for what makes SpongeBob fantastic, I still love the show. So today I'm going to review SpongeBob's first big screen adventure. I was 5 years old when this movie came out, and I loved it. But now I've gotten older, does this movie have a few flaws that I found? Or this movie still is a really amazing movie to watch over and over again? Well, let's take a look. The story is about SpongeBob waking up in the morning being so excited because today is the opening of the new Krusty Krab 2, where he also announced who's going to be the new manager. But at the ceremony, Mr. Krabs revealed that Squidward has taken the role, and he explained to SpongeBob the reason why is because he's a kid and not mature enough to take in the role as manager, which leads to SpongeBob being depressed. Meanwhile, Mr. Krabs' rival, Plankton, had another evil plan to steal the Krabby Patty formula by stealing King Neptune's crown, sell it to Shell City, and frames on Mr. Krabs. Before he gets fried, SpongeBob steps in and asks if he could get his crown back, but the king is skeptical, but his daughter Minnie thinks he has the guts to do it. So King Neptune gives him and his best friend Patrick Star a chance to get his crown back from Shell City until 6 days while freezes Mr. Krabs in place. So SpongeBob Patrick embarks on a road trip journey to go to Shell City, get the crown, save the town, and Mr. Krabs, while Plankton manages to steal the formula, selling Krabby Patties at the Chum Bucket, and starts taking over the entire Bikini Bottom, while also hired an assassinator named Dennis to track down our heroes. When you make a movie based on a cartoon, it does take a lot of practice to make it good, but it can work if the film was made by the people who actually worked on the show. And this is the best example. The SpongeBob crew did take time and effort by making an interesting hour-and-a-half story outside of making jokes. They wanted to take the characters on a big journey while experiencing some serious things. You do root for SpongeBob Patrick trying to prove to Neptune, Krabs, and Plankton, and the rest of the townsfolk that they can do anything, especially if they're kids. And the movie did bring some hearts into it that feel a bit emotional, where it has a moral saying that it's okay to be what you are and show everyone that you can do something of being yourself. So yeah, this movie does do a decent job of telling you a basic be yourself message. They know they wanted to tell a story while being silly at the same time. I especially like how in the beginning presents as a normal episode of SpongeBob, presenting those who never seen the show by showing the characters, the tone, and the comedy. The journey itself is a lot of fun, and you could totally see how this journey of going to this dangerous Forbidden Shell City is going to end up being a disaster. But SpongeBob and Patrick do their best with their childlike behavior. My favorite part is when they try to get the key back from the thug Tug, with all the craziness seeing SpongeBob and Patrick being super careful not expose the fact they are goofy goobers in front of these tough ruffians. Since SpongeBob is a comedy show, you know that the directors and the writers will have a blast making them, just like they did in the show. There's a lot of jokes that I remember that gives me tons of laugh, and they still do to this day, from the dialogue, the wordplay, the wacky faces, the personality of the characters, and other brilliant jokes. As for the animation, since it is based on the TV show, I wasn't expected to be grand,
but the animators did their best to make it look like an anime feature, and in my opinion, I think it holds up to this day. For the designs of the characters, they do keep their original designs, but the way how they present it in this movie, it looks way more immersive, and it has a massive upgrade, making them more colorful than the show. Even the character animation is also what makes the comedy amazing. The way how the characters make these exaggerated faces leads with some hilarious animation and the comedy. And let's not forget, one of the faces the characters made become one of the most famous SpongeBob memes. The designs of the new sea creatures are also very creative to see, and they do fit in the mood of wherever our two main characters are in. And they really nailed the background by making the atmosphere of the entire Bikini Bottom and the ocean in 2D look absolutely wonderful. When we get to the journey part, they also bring varieties on how deep and dark it is. And since the show also used live action stuff for jokes, there's no denying they're going to use it for this movie. And when the animated characters interact with the live actors in the surface, it looks decent. But when SpongeBob Patrick ride on David Hasselhoff's back, it makes it even more fun. We still have the characters we all know and love. However, there are only two main characters we mainly focus, SpongeBob and Patrick, while the rest such as Sandy, Squidward, and Gary are only used for small appearances, except for Plankton and maybe Mr. Krabs. And that is one of the flaws that I have with this movie. I wish they could give the other characters a little more screen time. Like you could let Sandy join in the journey, but I understand why they wanted to have our two favorite goofballs to be the ones to go, because they're part of the message. But can't you give the other characters something to do? It's all I'm asking. Now, Plankton is the one major problem with this movie, because his character is a bit backwards. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Plankton. He's not a bad character. He's an amazing character. But his motivation makes less sense in this movie. Now, we all know he wants to ruin Krabs' business by stealing the formula selling Krabby Patties at the Chump Bucket. But since when did the show claim that he wanted some world domination? Sure, he did claim himself as an evil genius, but it feels out of place. And it seems like they only added that just so have him taking over Bikini Bottom as part of a ticking clock, so SpongeBob Patrick take the crown back, or else King Neptune will fry Mr. Krabs. Either way, it is a bit strange. But like I said before about SpongeBob and Patrick, they are really great characters, and when it comes to them having this task of getting King Neptune's crown back from Shell City, but they make it through with their silly personality. And when they find out they are in Shell City after being caught by the Cyclops, which is actually a scuba diver, and just as they're about to be dried up, they see the crown and they really do feel proud of themselves, which leads to the saddest part of the movie that I'm so touched about. No matter how many people keep telling them they're kids, they will still keep on going, proving that they can do anything. As for the new characters, they were also really enjoyable. First, there's King Neptune, who doesn't actually look like the one in the show, but his personality in this movie is super funny. He may be a brute of a king who acts like discipline and punishment is what makes him a strong ruler, but he also thinks his crown is not only there to show that it means royalty, but also there to, well, cover his bald spot.
Oh, Your Highness, I'm sure it's not that noticeable. Bald! Bald! Bald!
All right.
There's his daughter Minnie, who is a kind-hearted mermaid who wanted her dad to have compassion other than being a ruthless leader. And she does believe in SpongeBob Patrick to get the crown back, so she is a supportive friend to them. And finally, there's Dennis, the assassin. He is a really intimidating guy whenever he appears. His job is super serious, showing how if you mess with him, you will be dead. Bottom line, the characters are memorable, and we all still love them, even if one of them are only just there as the background characters. But they still have their personalities, they still let them be what they are, and the new ones are also entertaining. Also, SpongeBob is also known best for making songs, and they're gonna put many of them in this movie. And we got 3 of them. The Goofy Goober theme song, the rock version of the Goofy Goober theme song, and Now There Were Men. And these new songs are catchy as heck. The best song I had to find in this movie is hands down I'm a Goofy Goober Rock. I mean, who could not forget about this song? It's one of the best songs in SpongeBob history, and it also has one of the great use of a song in a climax of a movie. This song is actually a parody of I Wanna Rock song originally performed by Dee Snider of the band Twisted Sister. I never heard of the band before, but when this movie presented this song in a kid-friendly version, it is amazing. And the imagery they put in mixed with the song is also very entertaining. Now, despite there are few flaws that I mentioned revolve around the characters, there are also one other issue that I do have with this movie, is that although there are a lot of jokes in this movie that I do find hilarious, some of them can be a bit immature. Like, remember that one scene before SpongeBob turned to this guitar-playing magician to free all the Bikini Bottomites? We see a shot of him grabbing his crotch. Yeah, that kind of feel like a resemblance to Michael Jackson whenever he sometimes grabbed his crotch. And how about this one scene where Plankton look at Plan Z and his reaction is a reminiscence of how boys were reading Playboy magazine. And let's not forget this moment from Patrick and Mindy.
Did you see my underwear?
No, Patrick.
Did you want to?
Yeah, it is a bit immature, but I do know the show can throw a little bit of adult jokes, but the one they put it in this movie is funny, but kind of a bit off. In conclusion, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie is not just a nostalgia film, but it is one of the best TV show film adaptation ever created. Since the yellow sponge grew into popularity in the 2000s, die-hard fans like me were really happy to see him take a big stand on an hour-and-a-half journey like this, with an excellent story, a great execution of the moral, hilarious comedy, beautiful animation, and engaging characters. Despite it have some flaws, I still love this movie from the past through today. I strongly recommend you to watch this movie again if you're in the mood. If you're not a fan of the show, then this movie is for you if you want to turn off your brain for entertainment. And who knows, maybe you could give this show a shot after you watch the movie. Of course, I'm giving this movie the Star Medal. What else can I say about this movie? And all I have to say to end this video is thank you, Steven Hillenburg, for making this show, giving us laughs, loving the characters, and making memories. Hey everyone, it's me again. I want to say thank you guys for watching this video, and a huge thank you for all of you who subscribed to my channel and watching these videos for all these years. And sorry, I was originally going to release this video on the day when I started this YouTube channel, but it takes a long time for me how to learn how to start editing videos, from recording audio to finding images and footages and doing a long script on it. But it took a while, but I finally done it and I feel proud of myself. And once again, I would say thank you for all you subscribers out there for making this channel possible. And if you guys wondering, yes, I'm still making videos. It's going to take a lot more time for me to get used to learning how to editing, all that stuff. I will going to make more videos, but not every day or every time. I will going to keep making them. It's just that I was focusing way too much on my part-time job and trying to catch up with my life after my long break of college. So anyway, just for that, if there's any other animated movie or animated TV show you guys want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments below. And for that, I want to say thank again a million times. Thank you for watching this video, watching these videos, and supporting this channel. Be sure to give this video a comment, a like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next review. See you later.